Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jose Pagalan, also known as JP, also known as 702 Forex on Instagram. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is episode 1 of Trading is What I Do. I am the founder of the Trading Apparel. Trading is what I do. This was my YouTube channel that was originally meant for educational purposes, but I'm changing it up to more of a podcast theme type of thing, and I'm going to be interviewing successful traders, real known traders, and that give out a lot of valuable information on here. That's going to give it out, and also on their personal social media. So this is episode 1. I appreciate you guys for watching. Episode 1 is a special episode, not because it's episode 1, but it's with a very special trader. She goes by the name of the Stock Insider on Instagram. Her real name is Tonya Stephens. She's not only a great trader, but even a better person. So let's go ahead and get into that interview. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, like, and mahalo for everything. God bless you for watching. Let's go ahead and get into that fantastic interview. All right, welcome to Trading is What I Do, episode 1 of my YouTube channel here. Very special episode, not only because it's episode 1, but we have a very successful, well-known trader here. Her name is Tonya Stephens, also known as the Stock Insider on Instagram. But I'm gonna go ahead and let her introduce herself here.
Yes. Thank you, JP. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. My name is Tonya Stephens. I am the owner and I do run the Stock Insider. I've been trading for over 10 years. I started in stocks, so that's why the name of the page is the Stock Insider. A lot of people ask about that. And I veered into Forex maybe about 5 to 6 years ago. And the funny thing about it, I found that I can spend less money and make more money doing Forex. So I got into it and I liked it and I learned a lot about it. As you know, it's still the same as stocks so far as the charts are concerned. So far as reading charts, doing the technical and fundamental analysis is the exact same thing. It's just a little bit less money depending on what you trade. But that's how I got started. I've been trading for a while, and when I fell into the Forex, it was just an avenue and adventure that I took off with, and I just became really successful with it. Was able to quit my job of 13 years and actually do it full time and become a full-time trader and a full-time investor. So that's just kind of how my journey started. It started with that pinnacle of being a stock trader. I just traded stock options, which I still do. I still trade that on the back end, but that Forex is just something. It's just like an addiction. I took a hold of it and I just ran with it. And I love it because there's so many different avenues that you can do with trading Forex. There's so many different styles and techniques and new things that you can always learn. And what I tell people about Forex is price repeats itself. Mm-hmm. Those charts, it's going to come right back around, but you just have to get the right trend, and you can really be successful with it if you use the right rules, which are risk management. As you know, JP, as a full-time trader yourself, it's just, trading is just, you have to understand the simple rules of it in order to be successful. And that's just one of the things that people, that little percent, need to get, because a lot of people quit. Mm-hmm. They figure it's a scam, or they figure they can't trade, or they're losing money, or it's never going to work. But once you get those risk management skills down, and you really become successful.
Definitely. I totally agree. One thing that really stood out to me when I first found your Instagram page is like the name, right? The Stock Insider, and mm-hmm. like yourself, I started off with stocks as well. Not stocks option. I was doing the whole penny stock thing, trying to get rich quick, Tim Sykes type of deal. What was what was that pinnacle moment when you said, I'm switching. I'm switching here.
Switching over.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? It was when I found myself constantly having profits. And when I say profits, I mean, I look at being able to withdraw and pay myself. Okay. I was doing a constant profit. This is month after month. I didn't look at it weekly because as traders, we're going to lose. That's part of trading. You're going to lose. So that's just it. The idea is you want to profit more than you lose. And when I was doing that consistently on a monthly basis, I said, maybe this is something I need to start crossing over to and getting into a little bit more, you know, still having my stock options, still doing my stocks over here, but just getting this to the forefront and showing other people how to do it as well, because there are people that's out there that struggle. I mean, they can't see blue for anything and just can't get it. But when I started profiting monthly, that's when I was like, okay, now we're on to something. Let's look a little bit more into this, because at first I was just going to do it as like a plaything on the side. But yeah, once that's the money, I hate to say it like that, but once the money started rolling in, and I'm like, okay, wait, and let's really sit down and get into this and really study the back end of this and see what's going on. But I think that was really that pinpoint. Awesome. And then it was the idea of not wanting to, because at the time I was still working at the job. I worked for the Houston Rockets. I worked for the NBA for 13 years. Nice. And I didn't want to sit behind a desk anymore. I kind of wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to work for myself. I want to have time. A lot of people think it's about money. It's not. The freedom for me is time and being able to do what I want to do so far with myself and family, and then having the comforts of having money as well. I mean, that's a plus, but it was more of the time and doing what I wanted to do. And I think those two things just crossed perfectly when I decided to make that leap.
I'm glad you mentioned time, because like you said, majority of people are like, oh, I want to do this for the money. Like, the money is great. I agree with that. But I always tell people, you know, time is our biggest asset. Like, money comes and goes, but time you don't get back, right? So I'm really happy that you mentioned that time is as important as the money. So now, you don't really have to get into deep with this, because but explain to us, to the viewers here, like, exactly what type of trader are you? What kind of setups do you look for? Swing, scalps, both? Like, how do you manage your risk management and all that crucial skills that we need as
all the hard stuff that people just can't seem to get at times. So basically, I'm all three. So I scalp, and I'm a swing trader, and I also do day trade. Okay, so when I started, I had two separate accounts. I'll have a scalp account, of course, and I'll have a swing account. My method, it's crazy because I mix my method up. Of course, I trade off of price action and trend. That's the backbone of everything, price action and trend. But I also go off of support and resistance and overbought or oversold method. I can trade naked chart or formations, or I can use indicators. I tell people, because everybody gets into the battle of indicators, or don't use indicators, or do use indicators. The thing is, with indicators, they have to be coded correctly, and they have to be coded off of price action. And the thing is, they alert you of what's going on in the market. A lot of people try to use indicators as the end all be all of a trade. That's not it. It's just something it's a tool to assist you in trading. And if people understand that logic, they'll be able to use them. But I really like formations. I really look at candle formations. That tells a true story in the market. Looking at, head and shoulders, double bottoms, just looking at those formations. I look for those as well. But with my trading, I really like to stick to trend trading. As they always say, trend is your friend. And that's a true, that's just the law of trading. Once you ride that trend, then you're automatically in. Well, you're not automatically in, but your probability of winning and profiting off a trade is much stronger than going against the trend. Going against the trend, and you're a scalper. So it kind of, my style, it varies. I do trend trading, of course. I look at price action, and my key thing I like to use is RSI. A lot of people don't like that. That thing is golden. That thing is golden. You can look at the overbought, oversold, and I like to stick to the higher time frames. And when I look for my setups, I look for higher time frames, heavy trend. I'm looking for heavy trend. I used to be a huge breakout trader, wait till there was a ranging market or consolidation and try to look for the breakout, and I would trade on a breakout. But that's when I first started. But now I have I say I have a keen eye for how I like to trade, which is I like reversals. I do reversals, trend trading and reversals. Sometimes I'll use Bollinger Bands. Sometimes I won't. So it just kind of depends on what news dropped as well.
Oh,
Huge
okay.
news trade. I look at the news every day before I trade. That's the first thing I do. Anything. I see what high news is dropping, and I kind of pay attention to that. So far as it's USD, then it's high news on USD, then I kind of have that in the back of my mind. Hey, I want to make sure that we kind of stay away from these because I'm not a big news trader. I used to trade the news and rush in after NFP or try to catch. No, I when I first started, I just blew my account trying to do that. There's techniques to trade the news, but I don't. I like to delete. I'm kind of like a quiet trader. I like to delete the noise. I let all that happen. And I kind of come in behind and then I'll do my thing. But as trading, as people know, the longer you can have patience and hold a trade, the more money that you can make. And that's just one of the things that's kind of hard for, I would say, traders on a whole, new traders, and even as being, I wouldn't call myself an experienced trader, but being a more veteran trader is, having that patience and holding that trade, price action goes up and down. You can look at a trade and it's negative, running negative, and then come back 2 hours later, it's in a positive. But if you know where your trade is going, then you know that price action moves up and down, and it's going to bounce up and down. It's just having that longevity and having experience in trading to understand that you would have to hold that trade for it to profit. When I first started, I would do a trade, and because I would trade on my lunch breaks. When I was at home, I would trade during lunch, right? And so I would set my trades in the morning before I went to work. So that was what leave work like 6, 7 a.m. Okay, and then I would check my trades at lunch, and then I don't know what was going on, but on my way, like in between when I got to work and in between lunch, my trades would always be in profit. They would be in green. They didn't hit take profit yet though. So I'm like, okay, good. And then after lunch, they would always be red. I'm like, what is going on? They were all of them red. I'm like, oh my goodness. Then it happened for like 4 weeks straight. When I get home, I would just close it out. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not losing any money. Let's protect capital. I close out my trade. All the 3 weeks, okay, this happened 3 or 4 weeks straight. Every day when I got home, I went back to look at the chart to see, because I'm trying to think, what in the world am I doing wrong? When I would go back to the chart, my trade hit the take profit where it was supposed to go if I just waited. Every single time. If I just held and had patience and just let it run its course and not cut that trade off, I would have had all the money. I mean, it would have profited. And that happened, I don't know how many times. And that's when I really got the gist of trading. I said, if you really sit and hold these things and just let them run and do their thing and stop watching the chart, like literally looking at the computer. I used to do that too. I would look at my phone. If you stop doing that, then your trades will be a lot better. Just walk away, do what you need to do, come back, and you'll be surprised at what you have. It's like growing flowers. It's like planting a seed, and then you have this flower that came up. I mean, it's just the weirdest thing. That was just something that was hard for me to grasp at first, but I finally got the gist of that patience thing. As a trader, don't you think that patience thing is just crazy?
No,
Trying to
I mean, I think there's different type of patience. I think there's a patience to wait for a setup, patience to let your plan play out, like what you went through, and patience to develop as a trader and as a person. So, I mean, the longer I always tell people, you make money in this business, if you survive. You have to survive, because when you're surviving, that means you're gaining experience, you're developing patience, you're developing, the psychological aspect of trading and everything. And yeah, no, I totally get it. I think when you got caught with the New York reversals, when you used to look at when you used to look at your trades in the afternoon. That's probably New York session, and it was.
Yeah, it had to, yes, because and I tell people it's crazy because I tell people after the New York session. So the central banks aren't trading anymore. It's just us retail traders that are in the market. So of course, everything is going to draw down pretty much. I mean, not all the time, but 9 times out of 10, everything draws down. Your Fortune 500 companies are not trading. Central banks are not trading. It's just us retailers. So everything is going to draw down. And so if you hold those trades, then they profit in the next high volume session, which is the overnight session, which is the London session. So some people that would hold trades, they would say, oh, you know what? All my trades would close overnight. Yeah, that's why. If you're trading after the New York session, I mean, 9 times out of 10, the volume is down. Nothing, there's no volatility there. And hardly no news is dropping then either. It just depends on, what's going on, not unless it's breaking news. But those trades are going to draw down and you have to hold them. Wait till the next high volume session, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Because, some people just can't grasp that, and that comes with having your trading plan. You have to have your plan and set. Have your trading plan and stay focused to that, and also not worry about other people's trades. I say that all the time because what I used to do, and this is when I first started too. Say for instance, if I'm in a trade on H4 on Euro USD and I'm in a buy. Let's say I'm in profit, okay? I'm on social media or I'm looking at Telegram or whatever platform I'm looking at. I can see somebody else and they're in Euro USD as well on H4, and I'm in a buy, they're in the sell. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not, why did they say the sell? I'm in a buy.
Yeah.
You can't do that because first of all, you don't know how they're trading. You don't know if they're doing swing trading, day trading. You don't know how long they're holding it for. You really don't know what type of method they're doing. So that's why I say you have to stick to your own plan. Mm-hmm. Stay to your own trading structure. And when I did that, honestly, that's when I started profiting more as well. Just, what was comfortable to me, my style of trading. Everybody has to find their own style, right? Their own style of trading, because there's plenty of ways to trade, but if it's not comfortable for you, then it's never going to work. So let's say that I'm trading my style and I'm looking at you and I say, well, I want to trade exactly how JP is going to do it. I'm not going to be able to do that unless you teach me that, but then it's not going to be comfortable for me because that's just not my style. But a lot of people do that. They have it, but they meet someone or they look at something and then they switch up their whole plan, what they had before that was working, But a lot of people try to get little bits and pieces, which you can do from traders, different style and techniques, and put it together and make it their own and come up with something for themselves, which is true, which is great. You can do that as well. It's just that I find that if you stick to your plan and what's working for you, then your probability of winning and becoming a successful and profitable trader is a little bit more. It's a little bit more higher than just trying to copy and, chase after what someone else is doing. You got to kind of stick to your own plan so you can really make this thing work. Because there's a lot of people that want to trade. They would love to trade full time and make it work and make it happen. It's just that they're scared to step out on that. It could be financially, could be money wise. I don't know. But a lot of people are just scared to do it. And they just think that it's something that you can only do part-time and never do full-time. And I don't like saying that because it's not true. I know a ton of people that trade full-time. You trade full-time, I trade full-time, and it can be done. You just have to make sure you have the discipline and make sure you have your plan in order. And you mentioned something earlier that I like too. You said having the knowing when to stay out the market and looking at the right setups. That's very, very important. Of course, that greed can get you every time because you're looking and you're thinking, the market's open 24/7. It's something I can be doing. I can get into something, and that's not the way you do as a trader. You have to look for the best setups in order to be successful and not just jump in. FOMO, that's what they call it. So, you don't want to do that. And I know a lot of people that do that all the time. Or if they're losing, they try to overtrade the to make up for
trade.
the yeah, you
That's
can't. You gotta. Yeah, when they have a losing streak, you gotta sit back a little bit, just take a breather. That's what you have to do. I mean, it's crazy, but yeah, that's just very very special. I have that as actually one of my key points, just for me, um, knowing when to stay out the market. You don't need to trade every day. Some people trade every day. I mean, if the setup is there every day, great. But for me, if I don't see a good setup, I'm not in the market. I'm gonna sit back. Take a seat until it's time.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that's very very important.
I definitely believe on finding a system, a strategy that fits you, your personality, patience, and time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my key rules too that I tell new traders. Just because I see it one way doesn't mean that you see it the same way. Trading is a game of perspective, and everyone's gonna have a different perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that. So
Right.
I'm glad you mentioned that. And as I'm curious, since you're in the U.S. as well, and you have two accounts, like which brokers do you use? I'm just because there's not a
Yeah,
lot of U.S.
yeah.
brokers.
So I'm particular to the over. So I use Hugo's Way,
Okay.
Trader's Way, and Coinex, and
Okay.
I keep Forex just because, as you know, Forex. I mean, you can't hedge on Forex. They don't have gold. They don't have US 30,
Mm-hmm.
and their spreads are really high. But I keep that because it's a US broker, and I hate to say this, but at any time, these overseas brokers can just keep our money and say they can do whatever they want, really. I
Yeah.
mean, I doubt they'll do it because there are so many of us that have accounts with them. But
Yeah.
um, if I feel safer with Forex, but I trade Hugo's Way and Trader's Way.
No,
I'm with them.
I totally get it. I mean, I trade with Ally Investment, but they're affiliated with Forex.com, and they have the same rules,
Oh,
because they're U.S. brokers. You can't trade gold, and your leverage is only 1 to 50, and they have all these strict rules, right? First in, first out rules, and I want to trade gold and other things. So I've been looking at other overseas brokers as well too. So I'm glad you mentioned that. And I'm gonna go ahead and look into those brokers as well. I used to use FX Choice, but
okay.
they started making it harder for U.S. residents to withdraw and deposit. And I was told today that they're gonna start closing. They're not gonna accept U.S. Residents anymore. So
Wow. See, a
yeah,
lot of them are doing that.
yeah,
A lot of them are doing that. I'm seeing a lot of this Cedar FX. This is a brand new one, and this
yeah.
has been all I'm seeing that like everywhere.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't know. I might have to check them out because they're totally new. I really don't like going with new brokers. I like to stay with the kind of people that have tenure and tenure
Mhm.
in with accounts. But I've been seeing them, and they're even on. I look at my calendar. I use my FX book and Forex Factory when I look at my news cal. And they're on my FX book as they have an ad on there, and I'm like, wait a minute, let me check them out, and I see them everywhere. So I might check them out and see, but I like to stick to my three, and it's just that, and the reason why that is because everybody has a particular preference in brokers.
Yeah.
It's just that, but with me, I've never had any issues with withdrawing. That was really big for me. As like I said, as us trading full time, that's important because we have to pay bills from the money that we make from trading, and that was very important for me. For me, withdrawing. I didn't want any issues. I don't care about the 24-hour, 48-hour delay. I don't care about that. But when um, it was, I want to say IC markets.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think it was IC my if I'm not mistaken. I had to. It was a huge issue on me withdrawing, and it was only you could withdraw what it was like once every 3 weeks or something like that. And this was 3 years ago, so I'm pretty sure it's changed now. But yeah, I didn't like that. I don't. Yeah, that wasn't going to work because you can't. It was like you're telling me the money that I made. You're telling me when I can withdraw the money and how many times I can do
Yeah.
it. And this is like my job. No, no.
Yeah, that's why I left FX Choice. I mean, I recommend them because their customer service is great, and I didn't really have any problems with them. It was just the process, because everything was always a third party for me to deposit, to withdraw. It wasn't. They used to allow PayPal, but
Yeah,
then they cut that off, and after that, they allowed me to deposit and withdraw via credit card. But then there was issues with my bank and everything, and it just there was just too many issues to get your money right. Like you said, we do this full time.
yeah,
We need our money, so
yeah.
that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sacrifice. I'm gonna go with the U.S. broker, even though the spreads are higher than usual and they have all these ridiculous rules. At least
Right.
when I deposit, it's instant, and then when I withdraw, it comes in within 48 hours, no issue, right to my bank account. So
That's what I like.
yeah,
That's what I like.
yeah, definitely. It's definitely more convenient. So, I wanted to ask you. So you mentioned how you have to stay out of the market. Um, it was easier for me to stay out of the market when I was working because I had to work. Even though I was like you, I looked at my
Oh yeah.
phone and everything. I was an IT. I used to work for Expedia. I was an IT, so I had monitors in front of me 24/7. But I still try to stay out of the market. What
Right.
what what do you do that keeps you out of the market? That keeps you occupied?
Well, I like to travel, but COVID that shut all that out. So there's no more traveling. That kind of cut everything back. So I mean, I just like to relax. I relax. I own my own home. I'm in the process of buying another one because I want to rent a property. Um, so that's keeping me busy as of now. But a lot of things have changed since COVID. It's well, here in Houston, the city is back open, but it's the numbers are still rising. People are forgetting about it. I mean, I was just at the store the other day and I'm walking around. People are not even wearing masks anymore. You have the bulk of the people that's wearing masks, but some of them are not. So people are just forgetting about it. But my thing was I used to travel. I used to travel a lot, but travel and shop. That doesn't work anymore. I paint. I like to paint, so I use that in some of my spare time. I paint. Just a freelance painter, and it's just like abstract art. It's the kind of art where you're just doing this, and you can look at it and say, "Oh, okay, that's a butterfly." Yeah, that's me.
You
It's
should you
just
should
my.
create
It's kind of
you
like
should
an
create like a
outlet.
you should create like an Instagram account for that talent right there. I'll
I
follow.
had I had I had one, but I don't think my art was too appealing. I didn't really get any. I didn't really get any followers, so I just kind of just kind of like my own thing now. It's kind of um like it's abstract art,
Okay.
just kind of like figures,
Okay.
colorful figures. But it just keeps just need something to keep your mind up. Like I tell people all the time, like it's when you trade, it's constantly looking charts, it's constantly doing things. You have to have something to have your mind escape. Whether it's playing with your kids or being with your family or reading or having some other type of hobby. I know one of my other friends, he she's a full-time trader, of course, trades really, really heavy. And on the weekends, instead of relaxing and doing things, he's analyzing the market for the next week. That's fine. We all do that on Sunday. I'm pretty sure we all do that on Sunday. But if it's Friday or Saturday, I mean, you have to give your mind a break a little bit.
Hmm.
Step away from the charts. Do something else that's gonna allow you to let your mind breathe. You know, and it's funny because a lot of traders are actually huge business minded people and entrepreneurs. So we're always looking for the next thing so far as what you can do, whether it's elevating your business. A lot of people may do something else on the side, whether it's elevating your business or, reading about entrepreneurship. But you have to take a break. That
Yeah.
stuff will just kill you. You have to relax at times. Sometimes on Saturday, Fridays or Saturdays, I might have me a glass of wine and just relax and watch some movies or something.
Yeah. No,
It's just
I
you
agree.
just can't have your head in trading every day in day out. I mean, it's impossible.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
impossible.
too much. I tell people too much of anything is bad for you, right? So bodybuilders, they lift all the time, but they still need to let their muscles rest to get bigger,
Yeah,
right? Pro athletes, all these athletes, every sport, right? They get paid millions of dollars, but they still take breaks from their respective sport because they know they need those breaks, right? So they can come back stronger. So I
right.
I, I definitely agree with you with that. And And I'm big on visualization, and I'm big on goals, and where do you see yourself, either by the end of this year or like within the next 5 years? Like, how big or what plans do you have for your brand?
Yeah, you know what? My initially, so in all to this date, I've probably helped maybe over like 400 students trade. Was this 45 of them trade full time now? Um, I want to open a cyber cafe, a trading cafe for traders. So you can think of it as like a Starbucks. It's going to be here in Houston. So you think of it like a Starbucks, but it's going to be a lab for traders.
Oh,
We'll have refreshments as well. And, just have different avenues where they could come in and they could talk about trading and could sit down, and it's like a Wi-Fi cafe. So that's what I actually would like to do down the line. Actually, in the process of getting those things started now, but I just see myself actually just living free. I want to get to a point where I'm trading, but I'm not. I'm not trading maybe every week. I'm not doing that. Like I want to trade maybe uh, become like a heavy swing trader where I'm sitting in a trade on a monthly basis and really just come hands off with trading and just kind of just enjoying. Because I tell myself that I'm retired because I know what I did and I'm not working anymore, and I just decided to do a work free living, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's why I took that step, because I want, like I said, I want my time just to travel and do whatever. But um, in the years to come, I see myself really trying to step back from charts, still trading, but making money and just letting it like investors do. I mean, you're investing, so you're holding, you're just sitting there and let the money collect. And that's kind of what I want to do. Stop being so hands on, but I still want to help other people with their trading. I like doing that. I find that fun, being able to help and assist people. It's not about money or anything. It's just, knowing that somebody has really had a hard time and couldn't get to a certain point that they've been wanting to do, um, and helping, and you have with these MLMs that's out here, and they're telling people this and that, and it's just just leading people in the wrong direction. And I'm like,
yeah.
come on, let's get a hold of this here and get this going the right way.
That's awesome. And you know what? If you can see yourself doing that, then I can definitely see you doing that as well. So I mean, I'm really excited to see your brand grow, and you accomplish everything that you have in mind. So I can talk forever.
Yeah,
But
me too.
I'm gonna cut this short here. But before we go, let everyone know. I'm also gonna have this in the description area down below. But let everyone know how they can get a hold of you. What other social medias do you have out there so they can follow you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow me at the Stock Insider. I'm on Instagram and we're on TikTok. We're on Telegram as well. When you come to our channel, our page on Instagram, there's a link to our Telegram, and we have information on how to get in contact with us as well. So that's one of our main pub right now. Home is Instagram.
Okay.
We had a website, but we took that down. So a lot of our stuff is really just software and coding. So we just keep it internal and have Instagram and TikTok right now.
Awesome, awesome. Well, again, Tanya, I really do appreciate you, taking the time. I
Yeah.
know it's a little later over there for you, so God bless you, and for doing this, and thank you for watching, everyone. Remember, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment, and everything. I'll have all her information down below in the description. So, again, mahalo, everyone. God bless you, and thank you for watching.
All right. Bye. Thank you.